Cobalt Protocol has been out for a few weeks now. It's time to take your game to the next level. What's poppin' everyone, it's your boy Levi, and in this video, I'm going to be going over some tips to help you win Cobalt Protocol. I have 5 tips for you, and each tip will have a beginner's version and a more advanced version. Hopefully, regardless of what kind of player you are, you can learn something. Let's get started with the character selection. Cobalt Protocol features a random character assignment, but it's only pseudo-random. You still get 2 chances to pick a character, which can lead to some interesting team construction. If you're new to Cobalt Protocol, the best way to win is to group up with your team, pick a good team fight comp. You'll want some frontline, some backline, and a good split between damage, tank, and utility. Be sure to check out my guide in the card above to find out who the strongest characters are for each type. For the advanced players, if there's no character that you want in the first round of picking, hold on to the strongest character so that it can't be given to the other team. Then make your pick in the second round when the enemy team cannot pick your unselected characters. There's different types of comps you can run, but you want to make sure that everyone is on the same page. A comp of Nathapon and 11 works well for a team fight. Nathapon can use his F-stop to set up for a big 11 taunt. A comp of Lennox and Tia can look to pick out a target with their range. Tia throws out yellow paint for the slow, into Lennox whip skill to the pull, and then into blue paint for the knock-up stun combo. It's great for locking down a single target and picking off straggling enemies. Bianca and Priya can work together really well if you want an anti-dive comp, grounding and charming enemies as they dive your carries. During item selection for beginner players, you're going to want to match similar items to each other. Each item has a main tag and a sub tag. The main tag is in yellow and will dictate the course of your build. You're more likely to get items of the same main tag. Sub tag refers to what stats you're getting from each item. To be able to reroll an item at the start, you need 2 random choices during your selection. This will ensure that you have enough credits to reroll your item. If you're planning on being the one to build either Cobalt Blue or Solar System accessories, a good strat is to roll the random accessories since you're going to be replacing that slot anyways once you get the credits. Advanced players, you need to draft what your team needs. If you're playing a character like Hedgen and your team doesn't have an initiator but lots of backline damage, you might need to build tanky and focus on getting big fears off for your carries. For Infusions, as a beginner player, you should note that defensive stats and utility stats are pretty good across all characters. For offensive Infusions, make sure to get the ones that match your damage type. If you're an initiator and probably gonna die a lot each fight, or you aren't too confident in your gameplay, look for the after death effect. There's also a bunch of niche ones, like becoming unstoppable after you ult. It's good for characters that are CC'd by their own ultimate. For advanced characters, you should be able to make use of the revive upon death infusion. It's a powerful infusion if used properly. It can be a huge detriment to your team though if it's not. If you're trying to 1v4 every fight, you don't want this infusion. Your life is now worth 2 points instead of 1. A lot of the time, if your team gets wiped in a fight, you're going to be left off on your own, and you're going to get killed twice, and give the team an extra point. If you're fighting as a team, and the fights are super close, then this infusion is great. A revive can help turn the fight and be super beneficial. During the 2v2 stage at the beginning of the game, beginner players should start by taking the hunts on your side. One person can take the drones while the other person can start the animals. If you have a wall jump, the person that took the drones can join the person that took the animals. Make sure if you have a Nadine or a Luke, you give them the last hit for their passive. Just note that drones will not contribute to their passive stack. If you're an advanced player, and you know that your 2v2 beats whatever 2v2 combination of the enemy team, you can look to invade. If you have ranged poke, you can also do this. Credit limiting is a great strategy for the 2v2 phase of Cobalt Protocol. If you successfully invade, peel back for your own hunts, or if the bear has spawned, prioritize that. Regardless of if you're a beginner or an advanced player, always prioritize the bear after your first 2v2 win. During the 4v4 stage, beginner players need to stay as a team, move as a unit. Make sure you always have control of the point. Because of the nature of the game, when you have majority of the points, you want to play slower. Fight with your beacons and only fight when they're being contested. After you wipe, look for a mega and then regroup as a team. Hunts don't mean too much in the 4v4 phase of the game unless you're Nadine, and position control is much more important. The slower playstyle benefits you as you get more points with beacons. On the other side, if you're getting destroyed each fight, look to backcap while your team's spawn is getting pressured. When someone comes to reclaim your point, either take the 1v1 if you can win it, or hyperloop back to your team's side for the 4v3. If you're an advanced player, after your first wipe, you should always look for a mega. It can be taken pretty quickly, unlike Gamma. You should be able to secure it and you'll force the enemy team to contest you or contest the beacons. You'll get a giant heal from it, so it's likely if they contest you, you'll get a second wipe. Assuming you're controlling all the points, you can score 10 or 11 points just from this section. Gamma is a bait, and it's unneeded for a win. If you really want to take Gamma, then number 1, make sure you're ahead. It's not a catch-up condition, it's more of an execute. Shout out to Nico for this ward tip. We caught Dylan trying to get her team back in the game with Gamma and just waited for her to get it low for us. If you have to take it, send your high attack speed, high life stealing character like a Luke, and send them to do it solo. If you're comfortable taking the 3v4, you can take it while one person chips down Gamma, but the safer strategy is to go back and forth in between fights. You don't want to overinvest your resources as it will lead to a throw. And finally, I want to leave you with one expert tip. I just want to throw this out there because I'm sure it's subject to change at some point. At the moment, if you execute, it doesn't cost your team any points. If you have an abundance of credits, you should look to execute after a fight. Make sure the kill timer is gone so that you don't give the other team a kill. This is exploitable, and I imagine there's going to be some type of change to it in the future, so that's why I'm just throwing it as an extra tip. And that's the basics to Cobalt Protocol. Whether you're a casual player or sweating for that Cobalt LP, I hope you found something you can take out of this video. Thank you so much for watching if you made it to this point. I know this month has been super Cobalt Protocol heavy, but I mean, it was the release month, so I hope you don't mind. Let me know in the comments if you have any tips that I missed out on. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more videos similar to this one, and I'll see you in the next one.